welcome back to One-on-One with Leo Gilling. All right, Leo. All right, we're talking about your university experience. You did accounting. You graduated from there with a degree. But in 1995, you went into business for yourself. You had 2 restaurants.
Yes.
Tell us about how the owner of the famous Golden Crust restaurant helped you and your business.
When I left my final job as an accountant, right, operations person, I was frustrated because I didn't feel like I was moving up in the company. They were giving me money. Each year I got big raises, but every time I hired somebody who was white or Chinese, then they get stepped on. I get stepped on. They go into other areas, and they have bigger jobs than me.
Yes.
So I had just bought a home, and I told my wife then that I need to go into business for myself because I feel like I'm hitting the top, the ceiling.
Yeah.
And so I had $3,000, and so I came out and went out searching 50 miles from home, searching for a place inside Los Angeles proper, for a place that I could do a restaurant. And I found a donut shop.
Okay.
And they just went out of business. So I took the $3,000, well, it was $2,500, and put down on the place. And the first day we opened, I was selling donuts.
Yes.
I went to another store and picked up donuts and brought in there, and we probably made $37 the first day. And by the end of the week, we probably made $200. And this wasn't doing what I wanted to do because I have another month coming up where I have to pay rent, right?
Yeah.
And so we had that $500 left, and I said to her, I heard about Golden Crust, and I need to go there. I took that money and flew to New York, right, without calling Golden Crust, but I knew that's where I want to go. And I went up and I told him that I wanted to meet the owner. I didn't know his name. I went to the head office and I needed to meet the owner. And they directed me to his sister. Her name is Lorraine. Lorraine spent 2 hours with me, and I gave her everything that I want to do and stuff. She says, well, I can't help you, but Lowell can help you if he, and I decided I'm not going to leave there without going, without getting what I need.
Yeah.
When I sat with Lowell Hawthorne, by the end of our meeting, he took me to his different plants, in the plant that he died in, and he said, at the end of the day, he said, okay, I'm going to give you $4,000 worth of products.
Wow.
All right? Well, you have 30 days to make it back and pay me.
Yeah.
Or else I'm not going to give you any more.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted.
Yep.
I went back to Los Angeles, and man, within about 20 days, I sold off the $4,000 and plus.
Excellent.
I ordered more.
Yes.
And my business, listen, within 2 years, I was making $1 million each year.
What?
By third year, I had $1 million a year for 3, 4, 5 years in my place. I bought the next door market cash.
Yes.
$120,000. I took cash out of my business and paid for a market next door.
Amazing.
Right? And Lowell came to me twice to ask me to convert to a Golden Crust,
outlet.
But in my mind, my name Leo Gilling is a big name, so I didn't want to do it.
Okay.
I don't know if it were right or wrong, but my ex-wife and I, we sat down and we said, no, we're not going to do it. But we retained the relationship with Golden Crust because almost every week we had a truckload of stuff coming in. Cooler truck coming in with bread and all that kind of stuff, right? So I was almost like a Golden Crust.
That is a fantastic story.
So when he died, I was touched. Yeah. That's the first time I have ever stood up and looked at someone that's in a coffin. I've never done that before.
Wow.
But I did it for 20, 25 minutes. I stood there and looked at him because he had impacted my life in a big way.
What a fantastic thing.
Yes.
What a fantastic thing. All right, were you ever under threat of becoming homeless?
Oh my. So when I moved from Jamaica to New York, I went to my mom and stayed there for about 2 months. And a friend of mine invited me to California to spend a week. And when I got there, there was no snow. all cold and snowy in New York. When I went to California, it was beautiful. Yeah. So I called my mom and I said, Mom, send my clothes come, And she, whatever she did, she sent it to me. Within about 2 months, I was on the road.
Really?
Yeah. I went to work at a couple of places and got fired, in manufacturing plants as a packer and so forth, and I didn't have a job. And so when I was on the streets, I started going to the Salvation Army to eat, and the Salvation Army to play volleyball to keep my mind. And I slept on their floor for about a week until a young lady came to me and said, I have a brother, you can, go stay with him. And if I didn't meet her, I would have been on the streets further, because the Salvation Army was saying, you got to go.
Yeah. In 2008, you had a serious medical challenge. What happened?
I had a stroke. I had what is called a subarachnoid hemorrhage, where blood seeped out in my brain, and that, out of the 10% of persons who had my condition, only 3% are capable or came out without a deficiency. And so I was pretty lucky. Yeah. And the doctor says these things are caused by heavy stress. So I got a blood vessel burst in my brain.
All right. You've mentioned it previously. You're the chairman of the Jamaica Diaspora Education Task Force. What is it? What do they do briefly?
The Jamaica Diaspora Education Task Force formed in 2013 after the conference, the Diaspora Conference, by me. 6 of us got together, and we decided that we want to do something to engage the diaspora without the IRS and without all of the rules and regulations of running a 501c organization. And so we decided, and we went out and found collaborations with Jamaica Teachers Association, Ministry of Education, Early Childhood Commission, to bring teachers together so that they can, we could exchange ideas with teachers from abroad, and help each other to grow. That was the original idea. Now it has formed into summits, international summits. We had 64 teachers earlier this year that came to Florida for, we took them on tour and on breakout sessions to also talk about best practices in teaching and training, and additional training. The collaboration is the big part, where we bring in Broward College, Broward schools, we bring in all different type of educational agencies to be able to bring teachers, empower teachers that are here to learn additional and new ways of teaching.
Fantastic. You've also done a lot of fundraising for Jamaica. I was noticing with your involvement with the ISA Foundation, where you contributed $3 million in donations of medical equipment to hospitals across the island, which is truly fantastic.
That's great. ISA Trust is a great organization. But then we also did a 5-week camp, education camp for at-risk grade 3 students, where we brought students to the higher tertiary level education, not tertiary level institutions, to learn or to get them ready for grade 4. And we chose Montego Bay, St. Catherine, and Portland, which were the 3 lower that were not doing as well in school. So that was was funded by ISA Trust and also by the USAID. The USAID gave us $250,000 for that.
Fantastic intervention. All right, we're going to close with what you're doing currently. You currently are a candidate for commissioner for the city of Miramar in Florida, which is a sister city to Kingston. How do you intend to forge closer ties between Miramar and Kingston?
Not yet a sister city.
Not yet?
I serve on that committee.
Okay, make it happen, man.
It will happen. It will happen. Right. But what happened is we're at the final stages of putting that together.
Okay.
But Miramar, I want to become a commissioner in Miramar, because I believe I can do much more for people and in that capacity. I want to make change, for example, allowing Miramar residents to to spend Miramar dollars. Right now, they're going next door to Pembroke Pines and to Miami Gardens because we don't have any of those chain restaurants. We have nowhere for me and my girlfriend to go for dinner. We have to go to Pembroke Pines. So I want to create the opportunity for them, that money, to stay in Miramar. And I want Miramar has a culture of a strong culture of people from various countries.
Yes.
And I want to bring that together in a way that we learn from each other rather than just learning or just repeating the same thing. Jamaicans do Jamaicans, Bajans do Bajans, and so forth. We want to bring that together. And also, I have the ability to understand what budget looks like. So I want to create that other person on the dais that can help to move our city forward by understanding what the budget is and creating opportunities for people to do well in our community.
Another Jamaican doing big things abroad. Really appreciate you coming along, Leo.
Thank you very much, Joel. It's been great.
All right, fantastic. All right, thank you for joining us for another in our one-on-one series where we feature individuals who have served in the public sphere and have made an impact nationally. I'd like to thank Leo Gilling for joining us and invite you to join us again next week for another riveting interview in our one-on-one series.